Marvel's new Avengers team is kind of on a little bit of a murder spree right now. And yes, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it's true. They're taking out the clones and evil versions of the Illuminati team. And now it's finally time for Reed Richards' turn as the smartest man in possibly the universe. If he's left alive and is, well, pretty evil at this point, who knows what other plans and situations he can conjure up to hurt more innocents and take out people. The Avengers being dropped right in the middle of Ecuador where everything is going down. Because previously we not only seen a ginormous version of the Thing dead and his body just spewed about this little village here, but coming here we see that everything is in chaos. Ships raining down beams of later what we will find out to be cosmic rays and energies, and even the civilians here being mutated and changed. We see people running that are on fire, kids that were invisible and unable to find their parents and their guardians, which of course leads them to think that they're the civilians of this town, just changed and not what they once were. And if you can put two and two together, it seems like Mr. Fantastic, or Mr. Ouroboros as his evil version or clone is being named, he's using the cosmic rays to turn these innocent civilians into the same sort of, not freaks, but, mutates that him and his family were. Some being on fire like the Human Torch, or some now having rocks instead of skin like the Thing, or even the Invisible Child like the Invisible Woman. And yeah, after figuring this out, the Avengers, instead of just mowing down innocent civilians, they instead listen to the civilians because they aren't attacking them, but leading them. Mr. Fantastic, of course, being intelligent, knew that the Avengers would eventually come here, and he has something to explain to them and show them, as he goes on to say, deformed. That is the natural state of the world. Only the heavens above are perfect. Such heavens gave us cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are communion. So all life shall partake in said communion. Through communion, all shall become deformed, in turn making it the natural state of the world, which is just a whole lot of mumbo jumbo for this Reed Richards is crazy and obsessed with cosmic rays because, I don't know, that's what turned him into what he is now. Viewing himself and what he is now and the rest of his family and what they turned into as superior in what should be the new normal instead of, the varied different states of humans or mutants or whatever on the Marvel Earth. AKA, he's just insane and needs to be put down before he hurts everyone on Earth, as that is his plan. First he starts with the town here and then the entire Earth. He wants to remake the world in his own twisted image. Black Widow, of course, seeing the stupidity and all of this, going on to say that, we get it, the Jackal turned you into monsters, but you don't have to make the world hell because of it. You could cure cancer, feed the hungry, do literally anything besides deforming these innocent people. But Reed Richards just tunes them out, going on to further work on whatever plans he has, saying, no, you're no different from me. We both take actions that make us feel good about the world, and this is his own good doing in his own twisted sense. But now that they have a giant plan unfolding, they need as much help as they can get, and someone who combines genius and bronze, as they then summon and call in the Incredible Hulk, which is kind of funny. Clea just summons him like some sort of Pokemon, bringing him into the battlefield to destroy her enemies. But because of the nature of the Incredible Hulk, he is very hard to control and very hard to communicate with, as when he is here, he's just pure rage. Him immediately attacking Bucky and everybody here because he doesn't want to be summoned against his will. Side note though, it's pretty impressive that Bucky survived this attack, even though for Hulk this is probably nothing more than just a love tap, a warning. This attack almost killed Bucky on the spot. Him just coughing up copious amount of blood. Though even as they try to contact Bruce Banner, who is still imprisoned inside of the Hulk's mind as before, inside of Hulk space, we see that the Hulk has become pretty resistant to magic, just using pure rage and strength to now cancel it out. Meaning not only do they have to fight against a evil Reed Richards, but a now uncontrollable Hulk at the same time. Though the saving grace for the Avengers here, the new Avengers, is Hulk doesn't really like Reed Richards in the first place. Like, nowadays he's pretty more neutral, but the Illuminati, including Richards, literally sent him off-world to be traumatized and everything that happened on Sakaar. So now with Reed Richards here, an evil one that he actually has the okay and go ahead to main and do whatever he wants to, Hulk decides to team up with the heroes to get a little bit of his own revenge, as the new Avengers now finally form for the first time. And instead of assembling, Bucky says, Avengers attack, which as a battle cry kind of makes more sense than just assembling, because usually when Captain America or whoever else is leading the Avengers at the time says it, they are lunging forward and charging forward to attack. But they are all just very slightly too late, as Reed Richards, or Mr. Ouroboros, which is a pretty stupid name, so I'm just going to call him Reed Richards, as essentially that's what he is, just a evil, messed up, deformed clone of Reed Richards. But he is able to launch his ship off. The ship that eventually, once it reaches space, is going to cover their Earth inside of cosmic radiation and transform everybody who it's able to get in contact with. Though Bruce Banner, in the moment, who's watching through Hulk, even though he can't directly interact, and who is almost a genius, maybe not equal to, but a genius in his own right comparatively to Reed Richards goes on to say that there might be a weakness that the evil Reed Richards has in his physiology. A concentrated onslaught or beam of cosmic radiation will be able to overload him and take him out for good. But in the same moment, Reed Richards does something else as well. He starts to literally pull back the unstable molecules and cosmic radiation from the transformed subjects, the innocent civilians here, into his own self like a battery of sorts, charging him up and making him even further, pushing his powers to the limit. As he goes on to say, I am the inevitable consequences of the world that created me. And you Avengers, you team, you heroes, you guys have no part to play in any of this except to die. As now he's just like 10 times as stretchy and as big, covering the entire battlefield and the entire team, even being able to constrain the Hulk momentarily. In here, as they are being swamped, they need a new plan and a new plan fast. They decide a couple things. One, Laura Kinney, the Wolverine, is going to go up and stop the ship. Clea is going to use her magic of sorts to try to free the civilians, because the more people that Reed Richards is able to take from, the bigger he gets and the stronger he gets. And then everybody else has to stall the evil Reed Richards until they're able to use the cosmic rays to weaken him, in which we see that play out exactly. Namor throwing Wolverine up into the atmosphere to catch the ship, which is pretty strong, throwing someone to catch with a flying ship. Clea, on the other hand, using her magic to literally freeze the civilians in time, so Reed Richards can't just draw upon them and their strength to get bigger and stronger himself. And the other heroes just go to start to combo him. Namor getting his hits in, Bucky and Natasha trying to just restrain, and even Carnage going in to just crawl inside of his face. Eventually, Clea comes up with a solution, not just freezing them in time, but using a reversal spell to turn them back into fully human, which, like I keep saying before, magic is just so overpowered. Like, yes, while this spell did hurt her, I guess, and strained her, there's almost just no counter to this. Like, imagine you're fighting a villain, and she uses her reversal spell to turn them back into their base form and without any powers. In the same instant, though, Laura Kinney, now on top of the ship as it's flying in outer space, she goes on to say that her healing factor is in overdrive. She's losing oxygen, she has frostbite, she has altitude sickness. It feels like she's going to die soon, or at the very least be momentarily dead until her healing factor can kick back in. But also she says that she's enjoying this and that this rules. And as the rest of the Avengers are stalling the Reed Richards, she is eventually successful in bringing down the Quinjet with the cosmic ray generator on it, canceling his plans, which of course enrages him. As he goes on to say, first you kill Iron Man, then you ruin my beautiful achievements. But it is going to get even worse for him, as Bucky has finally figured out how to use one of his ships and now redirecting a hit of his own cosmic rays onto Mr. Fantastic, which, as to no surprise, Bruce Banner, being the genius he is, was correct. This overdosing of cosmic rays was able to overload him and eventually turn his stretchiness, his powers, into just a puddle of mush, him unable to keep his own form and making him weaker, vulnerable. And now with him essentially useless and unable to fight back, Bucky starts asking the real questions. One, why did the Jackal even make him in the first place? And more importantly, how did he make him? Because if the information on how to make clones of some of the most powerful heroes on Earth gets out into the public and into the wrong hands, even further wrong hands than the Jackal anyway, that could be even more dangerous. And as it turns out, these clones are just a concoction of almost everything, from gamma and cosmic rays to vibranium, mutant growth hormone, synthetic crimson siderak, black symbiote compounds, even trace molecules of the Terrigen mist that creates the Inhumans and whatever else there. But even more than that, the Reed Richards just goes on to say that he was created to serve and destroy. None of this and what he is doing is out of his own actions. He was compelled and forced to. At the end of the day, beneath all of that, he's still just a thinking, feeling human being. He deserves the right to live just like him and everybody else. The Jackal kept them prisoners, frozen until he needed them, going on to say that him and the Winter Soldier aren't so different in that aspect. In which, if this were the normal Avengers team, the classic, Captain America, Iron Man, whatever have you, maybe this moral dilemma of, should we keep him alive? Does he deserve life and to live, even though he is a living, breathing person at this point? Maybe that question in line of thinking would have helped them up, and maybe they would have even gave into it. But this is not that Avengers team. This is the new Avengers, as they are pretty dead set on ending this Reed Richards here, each going on to get their attacks in, tagging him, hurting him, and weakening him further. Even Hulk going on to say that no mercy for monsters, until it's finally Black Widow, arguably the weakest among them, getting ready to deliver the final blow with a gunshot to the back of the head. And once a bullet is fired and the sound rings out, it is finally over. Reed Richards, Mr. Ouroboros, is finally dead, scratching one more name and target off of their list of evil clones to take care of, only leaving Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and a newly revived Iron Man left. But this is a team and a mission that the Hulk wants no part of. He was dragged here against his will, even going on to tell Bucky to put him back, and there isn't any next time. Next time, if this does happen, the Hulk won't hesitate and he will kill him next time. And while this entire team is dysfunctional, unorganized, and messy, they are able to get results and are accomplishing their mission. Eventually later we see them at their safe house celebrating their recent victory and win. Bucky for the first time brings up this new Avengers name and actually formally addresses them and creates this team for real. As he goes on to say that it's a bad world out there and I want to do something about it. No more hiding in the shadows, I want to attack back. The other Avengers and the other teams are firefighters, but us, this new Avengers here, they take out the trash permanently. And even more surprising, no, Bucky isn't going to be the leader or front face of the team, is actually going to be Black Widow, who he self-appoints and volunteers to be, which no one really objects and everybody else agrees. But as we are going to find out very soon, this might be the worst decision Bucky could have made, because cutting over as they're resting and getting geared up for whatever next mission they have, Bucky goes on to say that he's way out of his comfort zone. He's scared even, but he does trust Natasha, Black Widow, with his life. That is until his device, his tablet, suddenly starts to ping. He's getting a live message in translation coming in, and this time is directly from the newly revived evil clone of Iron Man, or Iron Apex as he's called. As he goes on to say and tell Bucky that they've been playing on easy mode, picking them off and killing them one by one, the kill Illuminati, and that once they're able to finally unite, they're going to be unstoppable. But no, this evil Tony didn't come here just to gloat or threaten. He came here with actual evidence of something, well, if true, could be devastating for this entire team. As he goes on to say, I bet you've been wondering who helped the Jackal make us. We'll have a look. As we see direct security footage, the night the Jackal got the direct components and stuff to make the clones. But no, what's more surprising is who was the person he was talking to and funded the Jackal. It being revealed that it was none other than Black Widow herself. As she says, my master is ruthless and he demands results. Now yes, Bucky is just completely taken off guard from this new information, though you have to take it with a grain of salt because Iron Man could have easily, or Iron Apex I should say, he could have easily doctored this footage, faked it, or even done a different array of things to make this footage look convincing and just to make the new Avengers fight against themselves from the inside out. Though that is a situation we're going to get more information on in the next issue as this one comes to a close. If you have enjoyed, leave a like or subscribe if you are new and want to see more content just like this. As always, this was AJ here at The Hero Informer, and thank you for watching.